548 and 6. That's the numbers you need to remember for this video. That's going to tell you your chances of actually contracting C19 if you visit Las Vegas and go to a major resort property on the Strip. I'm on the Strip right now. The Tropicana is behind me. It actually opened up just yesterday. Or was it the day before? It opened up on the 17th, right? So that's a good thing. Tropicana is open. That's one of the last holdouts on the entire Las Vegas Strip with the Cromwell. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the bars opening in Las Vegas today. That's another video, so it's a combined news video. But I wanted to go over your actual chances of getting the C19 virus in Las Vegas. We don't know the stats. One property has told us the stats, which I find very, very interesting. That would be the Wynn that came out yesterday. My name is Steven. How's it going out there, everybody? I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. I hope you guys would like, share, subscribe. Bang that bell for the future notifications so you guys know when I do my videos. I'll be on the Strip tonight from this spot, probably starting here, maybe, I don't know. The world famous Las Vegas Strip. I'm a Vegas video blogger, actually from Canada originally, but I've been down here since 2004 and I love this place. And I love the United States and I love Las Vegas. If you guys want to support the channel, you can get the early access to my 20-minute long Caesars Palace 1,800 square foot suite walkthrough. You can go over it onto Patreon, or you guys can be a YouTube channel member and you guys will see the early access video there. I posted it up. It'll be available this weekend for everybody else. And we also have lvstevn.com. The only 2 masks you'll ever need. Look at that, 2 for $25 made by my wife. All right, let's talk about it right now. lvstevn.com, no S at the end. Let's talk about it for a minute. So Tropicana opened, check, we got that. I went in there, there's some people in there. Parking garage is very, very empty right now. We also have the bars opening in Las Vegas. Yeah, so the C19 task force, I use the term C19, they don't use that term. The task force decided that they would be opening up the bars on the 20th, which gives a little bit of time. I'm sure all the casinos won't have much of a problem staffing those bars. They got employees that are just desperate to get back to work. And I'm so happy. I'm looking forward to going down to my buddy Richard Wilkes' place at the D downtown and seeing what the Bar Canada and the Long Bar looks like. Oh man, rules are in place. You're gonna have to wear your mask when you're walking to and fro. Take it down when you're drinking and eating. Social distancing will be enforced. Yes, it will be. The bars, by the way, were never much of a problem in Las Vegas. Nope, but they closed them prematurely in a lot of people's eyes. So, relief for the bars. I actually predicted this a couple of days ago in a video where I talked about the future going forward and how our numbers had dropped for our infection rate per tests performed. And it looks like I was correct. That's a good thing. But the other news we have to look at is pertaining to the Wynn and the Encore. Wynn and Encore, those are 2 properties in Vegas that are obviously world famous, gazillionaire type properties. The Wynn has been in the news lately. They closed their buffet. It wasn't very successful. People didn't really like it very much, so that was a thing. And but you know what they've also done? They've also admitted how many C19 tests came back as positive for their employees that they were able to trace back, and now we know and get a general idea about what your chances are if you come to Las Vegas and stay at a property, what your chances are of actually getting sick here. So all you need to know, I said at the beginning of this video, was like 548 and 6, but we're gonna look at another number. It's like 15,000. So the Wynn has been conducting tests like all of these properties. The only property to tell anybody, yes, we'll get to the percentage chance of you actually getting this. I gotta build up to it for a minute. The only property that's released them is the Wynn though. Now, don't be mad at the properties, okay? There's actually a law that states that they don't have to tell anybody anything. So if you're gonna be mad at anybody, be mad at, you know, the state government or whoever controls that kind of a law for not actually making it so that properties have to tell anybody anything. But it's gonna be the same rules in most states for private businesses. It states that, you know, if a company has a suspected case, they're going to take that employee out of work and they're going to put them to one of their own labs, and that lab is going to test the person and they're going to submit it and nobody has to know a thing. That's just because of HIPAA laws, which are a type of healthcare law, or Healthcare Insurance Privacy Act, I think it's called. And that means that you don't have to tell anybody anything. We don't know what is happening and who's getting sick. The Wynn has been voluntarily releasing the numbers. Last video update we did about the Wynn, they had 300 cases out of, I think, 10,000 tests or something like that. I can't remember the numbers. But now we have 546 or 48 cases, whatever I said earlier, out of 15,000 tests. What does that mean exactly? That means that they were able to successfully contact trace back those people to getting it at the property. At the same time, there was another article on the Review Journal website that said something about how we're getting a clear picture of employees and who's getting sick in the properties in the hotels. But then the article goes in to say and admit that there's no way to actually tell where somebody actually got sick with the C19 virus. What they do is they ask people to their best recollection when they contact trace them. They ask them, hey, where do you think you might have gotten this? Where do you think you might have gone from the last time you felt healthy to when you started feeling sick? But if you're like most people, your memory is only so good. You only remember back a few days. So if you were on a Monday feeling just peachy keen like a lima bean, and then on Saturday you're feeling like heck, and you say, well, you know, I went to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Where else did you go? Do you remember that you went, to the grocery store? Do you remember popping into that little place that you had to go pick up something for the house on the way home and you didn't want to go to the regular store near you? And if you don't remember those places, the entire point of contact tracing is just ridiculous. So getting back to the wins numbers, so we don't know. So it's giving us an idea, but it's not a very good idea. Going back to the win though, 46 or 548, I really should have remembered that number. Those are the amount of people that say that they can contact trace back to the hotel. All right, so that being said, tracing them back to the hotel, we had six people say that they got sick, that were tourists getting sick, that stayed at the Wynn Resort. And even then, we don't know if those 6 people stayed at the Wynn or the Encore and just stayed in their rooms the entire time. We have no idea about that. They might have stayed at the Wynn and then they might have gone to every property in town, but 6 out of 548 positive tests. That comes down to 1.09% of the entire tests that came back positive for C19 at the Wynn and the Encore being at that property contact trace back for tourists. That means there's what, a 98.91% chance that if you come to Las Vegas and you go to the property, you're probably not going to get this thing. Now, I'm not saying that that's a lock. Heck, we don't know. There could have been thousands of people that were testing positive, that were employees of the Wynn that never got tested because they were asymptomatic. And there might be a chance that there was hundreds and hundreds of people that came and visited and didn't have a chance to get tested because they were asymptomatic. That music got really loud, didn't it? I got the Excalibur behind me. So I guess what it goes to show right now is that there's no way of knowing, but the numbers that we do have lead it to be 98.91% chance that if you stayed at a property, assuming that they're all the same percentages at the Wynn, and the Wynn had a 3.6% positive test rate for all the tests they did versus the employees that actually got ill with the C19, 98.91% chance that probably nothing's going to happen to you. You might not get sick. But then again, I am of the mindset that I think most people have actually had this thing. I think that a lot of us have seasonal allergies, or we get the flu every year. I think that it's hurtful to vulnerable persons. I think it's, for some reason, randomly deadly in some people. And I think it's always a good idea to be safe when you come to Las Vegas. Hence, wearing your mask, wearing your hand sanitizer, using your hand sanitizer, keeping socially distanced as much as you possibly can. But it's kind of relieving to know, if you look at the numbers, a 98.91% chance, at least in the Wynn's cases, because 98.91%, that's the percentage of people that weren't employees, that were actual tourists. 1.09% of all of their positive tests that got contact traced back were from the Wynn property, if that makes any sense to you at all. I'm really reaching with these numbers, okay? I'm just trying to make sense of something. They're not solid numbers, I understand that. This is not a journalistic type video. This is just me running some basic math. I'm a talking guy for a living, not a mathematician. So if you guys are into that kind of stuff, tell me in the comments below what you think about all that. And that being said, I'm out here on the strip right now. It's a beautiful day. It is smoky still. We still have Smokey the Bear in the air. We got the Raiders over here. We can see the Statue of Liberty. Oh, I can't point. Statue of Liberty with the Raiders jersey on. It's the number 20. I guess it makes sense for 2020. And I am Steven, and I am not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. I hope you guys, again, would like, share, subscribe to videos. Hit the bell for the future notifications. VegasFaceMask.com if you guys want to mask up with our masks. I think they're the best ones that you can get. I love them so because I love my wife, and that's the way it all works. But anyways, we got to go out here, so we're going to say 3, 2, 1, click. We'll see you in another video. See you on the strip tonight, possibly. If you're in town, you want to bump into me, you know where I'm going to be. Just fire up the live stream. So here we go now with 3, 2, 1, and click.